Colleges hackathons recently. But today we will try to complete the complete session of SQL injection. We will try to complete as much web attacks as much we can. Good afternoon, Nikhil. Good afternoon, everyone. So today we will get started with the, all the attacks of SQL first of all, and we will try to complete all of its module today. And so I would like to have a 5 minutes of question and answer. So the students who are watching my recorded session, feel free to skip for 5 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask for next 5 minutes. And I hope my audio and video is coming all fine. So just give me a quick response and then we are going to get started. Till the time I, solve your doubts and interact with you a little bit, till that time, you can just go ahead and start up your WebGoat. So I'll be doing the same. So go ahead and shoot your questions. I'll answer a few of them and then we'll get started with today's sessions. How to get I write code t-shirt. Okay, so for that, you'll have to participate into a lot of, activities that are hosted by Neuron. So yes, that's the way how you're going to get it. I've changed my microphone anyway today. So I hope, the audio quality must be more crisp now. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Else, let's proceed further with today's session, you can say. Okay, this is your first live. See, the chat is disabled, but you can definitely, put up your questions into question answer section. So go ahead and write your questions into this section only. The chat is disabled, like I've been, telling you guys this all the time, that according to our company policies, they have disabled my chats. So I won't be able to undo that. So, sir, how is MTech in cybersecurity? Okay, let me just quickly share the screen as well. And then we are going to get started with a lot of things right here. Seems like I've turned on the server as well. Okay, so exit. Share screen. Okay. So I'm starting my WebGoat as well side by side. So few questions, let's take them quickly. Sir, how is MTech in cybersecurity from Reva University, Bangalore? See, MTech is good everywhere, but what matters is that what is your approach towards cybersecurity? Because, this is the basic things that we have been doing right now. These, the things that I'm teaching you in this course can be a good one if you want to become a pen tester in some company, but that is good till becoming a pen tester only. But if you think about the cybersecurity future, then it's way ahead. For example, what I feel the high paying jobs that we can find in cybersecurity are related to, DevSecOps, like, development security operations. That is also a module of cloud that I'm trying to complete. I've recently cleared a lot of exams of AWS, which gave me a very good approach that how cloud is going to change the era, because, a lot of startups are moving on to the cloud. Just a normal hosting like GoDaddy and these things, they are not able to handle this much of, server, you can say, this much of load on server, which is why I believe there will be a lot of, opportunities related to development, security, operations, and cloud. And apart from that, you can also try for IoT testing. IoT testing is also having a very good future. People have been hacking a lot of cars. We also are working on an R&D unit where we are trying to figure out that how we can do the testing of the drones. So this era is coming really soon, and things are under the development into the market. So IoT and cloud are the two things that I would recommend you to keep a focus on if you are pursuing for MTech in cybersecurity. I will come in this week. I will come office in this week. Are you there? This week I'll be going to JCRC. So then Mukesh will be taking the classes again. So I won't be available at the office. Sir, do we have exam after completing this course? Yes, you do have exam. Sir, share your CSM journey. CSM journey, you mean cybersecurity journey? Yes, definitely. If I'll share the, okay, let's plan a YouTube live right after the session that I'll be delivering here, because if I'll be delivering that, a lot of people will be irritated, since we are just going to reply for the doubts related to this examination. Sir, I reported a vulnerability and it has been fixed now. Can publicly disclose it without their permission? You cannot uh, disclose it without their permission, but if it is related to educational purpose or something like that, you can just teach a lot of fellas around you, and that would be great, Pratham, if you can just join my tomorrow session and make people understand that how you have found the vulnerability that is now being fixed. It will be a very good lesson for everyone out there. Is DevSecOps more developer oriented field? No. See, what DevOps is, in DevOps, you see the development operations. For example, when there is a code, you need to take that to the production level. And if you are taking that to the production level, it should be secured enough. You take the controls of all the integration service, all the third party services, and then you test it, you deploy it onto the cloud servers. And then you go seamlessly with the continuous testings. And even after, publishing it, you check out the stats about how the server is doing and how things are getting maintained, for which DevOps is really required. And then you can move on to the DevSecOps. If any one of you anyone of you is interested into DevSecOps course, that is also launched. You can check out the recent video of Hitesh sir by going on his YouTube channel. You'll see a DevOps course coming out there. So we have a 30% discount going on there for like next 2-3 days. So DevOps is going to be a really good journey. You can go ahead and enroll there as well. Can you come to our college event? Yes, maybe sometime soon. How can we create multi-user login in Kali Linux? There is a module for adding the extra user into the settings. Like that is not hard. When you'll go into the user settings, you will see a sign of plus. You can click on that sign and you can add another user over there. After CSM exam, what we should do further, sir? After CSM exam, I think that is a good thing. You can prepare for OSCP. You can go for CTF, that is Catch the Flag, which is also we are planning to launch in upcoming days. So yes, CTF is something that you should look for. Or you can also go ahead and check out the DevOps things. DevOps is really the future, which is why I've been posting a lot of videos of DevOps lately on my YouTube channel and into the groups as well. So yeah, you can look for these options, CTF or DevOps. I'm in Bangalore and I want to meet you. Even I really want to meet you, but anyhow, I'm not available this week. But sometime soon when I'll be there in Bangalore, I'll let you know. Can you please add your DevOps course to TechNeuron section so that it would be helpful? It is already there on iNeuron's website. You can just have a look at that. I'm interested in AWS certification. Can you suggest how to learn? Gautam, we have recently introduced a DevOps course in which we are, I've recently within like 40 days, I have completed AWS Cloud Practitioner. I've completed AWS Cloud Architect, and I've also cleared DevOps Pro. That is on a professional level. Right now, I'm working on SysOps, that is System Operations. And after that, I'll just go ahead and I'll just hunt for the DevSecOps, which is really a good thing out there. So this is my current strategy that is going on right now to teach you people to give you some fruitful results in your lives. Okay. Her voice is bit low. Is voice bit low? Please give everyone, please give me a quick feedback and then we'll get started with today's session. Is my voice a bit low? Shall I increase the voice? Somebody please give me the feedback. If the voice is low, I'll just increase it. No, it is fine. It is fine. So people are saying that the voice is fine. So which is the reason why I am not increasing it. So let's go ahead and get started with today's session. Today we were, like I told you over the chats that today we are going to go ahead and, we'll get started with the SQL injection, complete module of SQL injection. Let me adjust my webcam a little bit. Okay. Everything seems fine. So I think we should get started. And I believe everyone is ready to get started with this. So I would recommend you to open up your WebGoat within like next 2 to 3 minutes. I have already opened up my services. You need to just a quick refresher. You need not to do much. You just need to open your command prompt, and then take the path from here. Go ahead and hit for cd, that is sketch directory, which I have fired in this command prompt. And then go ahead and just give the path of WebGoat, and then you can get started with the web server. So I think I'm gonna start my web server in here only. So let's wait for a few seconds till I jump onto the login page of WebGoat. Which should run since my Spring Boot is up without any error, I believe. Yeah, JVM is running. So what is stopping this to run? Let's try in Mozilla if that is gonna run. This course has around like 1 month remaining. We are going to learn some of the last web attacks and some Metasploit attacks that Mukesh is handling very well, I believe. I hope you must be enjoying with Mukesh. Uh, but I really want to start my WebGoat thing, but seems like this is not working. I think let's go ahead and encode it once again. I wish if I could run this in Docker, which is really a good thing. But anyways, let's encode this file once again, since I cannot see this running right here. Let me go ahead and stop this. When I stop this web page is running. Wow, that's strange. All right, if it's running, let's go ahead and try to quickly okay, give me a few seconds more. I believe it is not accepting it since this is prompting right here. Let me go ahead and encode this once again really quickly. Today, we are going to complete all the modules of SQL. Like I'm not in a mood to leave anything today related to SQL. That's going to be once for last for SQL. Let's go ahead and encode this once again. Okay, let's see if I believe it should work now. Starting the services, quickly starting it. Let me close it down. Pass enabled. JVM is running now. So let's go ahead with localhost WebGoat. Yes, it's running. So this happens sometimes. So let me create everything all over again. Okay, never, never, never. All right. So a lot of you people must be already familiar with SQL, right? Now you know a lot of things. Use Docker, sir. Okay. So let's plan a YouTube live soon today. In the evening, I'll be coming live on my YouTube channel so we can have such questions again. So you must be knowing about SQL injection already, since we have already completed a lot of modules of SQL, right? So here, it is giving us a lot of new things. Like, this lesson describes what structured query language is. So here they have, given the definition of what SQL is, for which we have already taken the introduction earlier onto the DBWA. And we have solved a couple of more challenges as well. So SQL is how it can be manipulated to perform tasks that were not the original intent of developer. So what happens that sometimes you go ahead and you use the different functions of SQL. For example, you can go for select, and these kind of different things you can do over there. So this is what we are going to do here. We will try to go ahead and manipulate it, but before doing that, we are going to watch the challenges very carefully, right? So this was a quick introduction of SQL. The user will demonstrate knowledge on DML, DDL, DCL, string, numeric, and how SQL will. Okay, so this is not going to be working much, but this was a quick introduction. So we have a lot of challenges today. So I believe we are going to complete all of them. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I believe I'm going to complete all the 9 challenges today. Let's take this target that I'm going to complete till 4:20 or 4:30, which is definitely our break time. So at that time, we are going to complete till that time, we are going to complete our 5 challenges. And then later on, we will also cover the rest of the 5 challenges. So this is what I have planned for today's class. So do you guys want me to make you understand that what exactly the SQL is? If yes, then just give me a query into the comment section. If not, then I'll skip the demonstration of what actually the SQL is, and we'll be directly jumping onto the challenges. So just give me a quick response, because we have already discussed what actually the SQL is. So give me a quick response if you want me to introduce the SQL once again, else we'll get started with the challenges directly. Is my voice really coming low? Okay. Seems like, okay. So I want to give you a very quick brief introduction, since a lot of students are asking that please give us the introduction of SQL again. So SQL is nothing more than you can say it's like an Excel sheet, but that Excel sheet, what does that Excel sheet does? That keeps the data of a lot of students, which into the real life programming language, or you can say into the web database language. It has exactly like that SQL, exactly like that Excel. Everything is stored inside the SQL, right? You have a lot of rows and columns that you must have read in your class 8th or maybe 9th or 10th. So you have a lot of rows and a lot of columns where there is a lot of information stored of a user. Now, when the information is stored, we use PHP like language, which can communicate our database and can show the results onto the website, right? So I hope this is clear to all. We first of all, we design a website. In between, we use a programming language like PHP, and then we communicate with the database to show the changes on website with the help of SQL, you can say. So there we do a lot of cross checks with the help of database, which is really used for the authentication based results that can be shown onto the website to a user, right? So SQL is used for storing the data as well of a lot of users, and it can be used to give the authentication to complete a lot of tasks. Now the problem is there are a lot of tasks that you can manipulate if you know SQL, right? So this is what he's trying to say. This is a quick definition of SQL, which is also telling the same thing that I told you a few seconds back, that it is a programming language which is used for managing relational database and performing various operations on the data in them, That's the same thing. Database is a collection of data. Like I told you that everything like this is stored exactly like the Excel sheet into the data. Now there are two kind of database. Like this is the extra knowledge that I wanted to give you. See, earlier times, and in fact till now as well, a lot of things are getting managed on SQL database. But people are also preferring MongoDB these days. Why they are preferring MongoDB? That MongoDB is exactly the opposite of SQL, and it is not a structured query language, you can say. The MongoDB has everything relational. You can just call everything by defining the function variables with the help of JavaScript, which is like super fast. But I accept the fact, if you'll just go ahead and you'll just visit onto some bounty platforms like HackerOne, you'll see that recently somebody has found the bugs into some US military's website. So they are still using such things till now. So people are finding a lot of SQL injection attacks in today's date as well. But the thing is, the people are just not using the union-based tricks. People are going way ahead, right? So they are learning that how to write the queries, how to manipulate a lot of things out right there. So likewise, this is a kind of challenge that they have given us into this WebGoat. So you can see that this is an example of SQL table containing what? It has a user ID as well. Like it says it is containing employee data, and name of the table is employees. But let's go ahead. This is not how you read the database. What we can keep in mind that here we are generating the user IDs. The random user IDs are generated to a user. Then there is a function that is called as first underscore name, where they are storing first names. Last name is also there. They have the different department. This must be a database of some company where they are storing a lot of departments as well, which have a lot of different departments like accountings, development, marketing, development again, marketing again. And now here they are deciding the salary, which is like really very low. Accounting department is taking this much of salary, development is taking this much of salary. So likewise, they have defined all the salaries right here. Now they have authentication 10 right here. So they have also given the different keys right here. So let's go ahead and see that what exactly the company saves the following employee information. I used to do this quite a lot. It's always a good thing to brush up your skills. So like I still keep on solving these challenges, which gives me a really good kick out there. So here in this challenge, the company saves the following employee information in their database. Legit enough. We have already gone through that. So they have unique employees ID that is called as user ID. And this is what we are, transaction authentication number. Okay. So this is the transaction authentication number. Like I have, a few seconds back, like I just imagined that this must be some key over there. And each of these pieces of information is stored in a separate column, and each row represents one employee one employee of the company. Right. This is understood. Now, what do we need to do? Let's see. SQL queries can be used to modify a database tables. We have been doing this lately quite a lot, and it's index structure and add, update, and delete rows, right? So do you remember my lecture of, SQL? Even delete, add functions were not a part of the challenge, but still I gave you the introduction that what exactly these different SQL functions are. If you have forgotten them, don't forget to go ahead and recheck them. It will give you a very good understanding about the basic level of SQL. There are three main categories of SQL commands. That is then data manipulation language, DML. So if you remember, into the starting he has given DML, DDL, DCL. So this is what he is trying to define here. Second one is data definition language, and third is data control language. So you can manipulate the data, or you can check out the results of that data. Second one is data definition language, in which we can get the informational inputs, like you can find the version and the name, or the what it is actually using. Like it is using the complete Apache server, or like MariaDB server is there. So you can find out the information of the versions and these different things right here. Each of these commands types can be used by attackers to compromise the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of a system. We are going to show you in few seconds that how some commands with add and these things are going to manipulate it. But right now I want to know that what actually WebGoat wants us to manipulate. It hasn't yet shown us that. Proceed with the lesson to learn more as goals. If you are still struggling with new practice, you can, okay. It's your turn. Okay, what do I need to do? So look at the example table. Okay, here is the example table. Try to retrieve the department of employee Bob Franco. Hey, Bob Franco, here you are. Okay, so this third guy is the Bob Franco. So Mr. Bob says that you have been granted full administration privileges. So that means if you are anyway, getting the access of super admin or the shell, or sometimes you don't even need the access, you just go ahead and fire the commands and things happens. It all depends on the developer. So you have been granted full administration privileges and can access all data without it. So try to retrieve the department of employee Bob Franco. So in order to retrieve the information from department, what we are going to do, we are going to select it, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to go right with select, and then we are going to select the department. Like it must have, written here that these are the different departments right here. So we are going to select the, okay. So this is what I was thinking. You have to write the exact names that are stated here, like first underscore name. So you'll have to write that. You cannot write anything on your own. So firstly we'll be calling the department. So how are you gonna select the department? I just told you with the SQL it's very simple. You just need to simply write select and then department, right? Now it is also asking me to select the department of Bob Franco only. When I'll just write the select department, then it will select all the departments, which I really don't want. I just want the department of Mr. Bob Franco to be selected, right? So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the department from, like, I just gave you the example that, if you are going to retrieve the data, recently I told you that how, I gave you the example of library that, hey, bring me a book. But what if I'll not give you any kind of address that, hey, bring me a book from the third row. I want the name of the book to be this. Then you'll be able to fetch me the books, right? The same is going to happen here in this case as well. So what you're going to write here is select department from employee where user ID is this. So user ID is going to be this. So you cannot simply write select department from like first name or last name. You cannot do that. You'll have to define the user ID of that. So in this case, the user ID is 96134. We are very close to make our own, input that we are required to put down there in SQL query. So right now we want to select the department from employee where ID, where okay, not the ID, it's going to be user ID, where user ID equals to this. So let's go ahead and try to implement this. So I'm simply going to write select. Now this is not something related to hack. I believe it is right now teaching us that how in a witty way you can select a lot of stuff and you can call them with the help of database by firing some queries right here. So I'm going to simply write here select department from employee where user ID from where the user ID equals to. Now tell me that how should I define the user ID? It should be like in between the strings, or I can directly call it. Just give me a quick response. Very quick response. Very quick response. Because K Shashank has defined select department in which S is capital. So Shashank, you don't need to put the S capital and then select department from employees. You have done one more mistake, I believe. From employees table is not going to be there. You'll have to okay, from employee, not going to be employees table where user ID. Okay, you're very close to go ahead and write that, but I believe I've written the right query in here. So where user ID equals to, and then you then in between the single quote, you are going to define the user ID of Mr. Bob Franco. So you are going to write here as 96134. 96134, right? So when we define the parameter, right? When we define any parameter, we always define that into the single quote, or you can say into the strings in SQL, which is the right way to, write any ID out there. So select department. Let me just quickly recheck it. Select department. Make sure it's case sensitive. I just saw in a question answer chat somebody has written capital D, so make sure you don't do that. Select department from employee where user ID is this. So I believe this should be the right one. Something went wrong. So user lacks privileges or object not found. Employee. Okay, it was employees. Yes, it has defined here. So this is how you go, right? It has defined here user SQL table containing employee data. The name of the table is employees. So we forgot to go for employees. So you'll have to put S in here, and this must be your right solution. So I'll just make the notes for you side by side. Solution number 2. Okay, let me see if this is the right query. And I click on, okay, so this was the right query. Select department from employees where user ID is this one. So this completes our second challenge into this SQL. So I'm going to put the same of these into the notes. So do you have any doubts in this? This was a very simple challenge. Just give me a quick response. Okay, so no doubts. So notes for, I'll just quickly write here, notes for SQL module in WebGoat. Right. So this completes our SQL thing. So let's go ahead, and now we are going to move on our challenge number 3, right? Okay. So now here it is going to teach us the second thing, that is DML kind of commands. Like I told you, there are 3 kind of commands. Into the first section, they have defined DML, DDL, DCL. So it is going to teach all of that one by one. So now here it is going to teach us the DML kind of commands. That is, they are used for storing, retrieving, modifying, and deleting the data. So in order to store anything, or in order to update anything, we use the update command. In order to retrieve any data, we use select. In order to modify any data, we go with the update. Okay, if we want to insert a new data, then we are going to use the insert function, and updates existing data within the database, which could be really a good one for us, because we would love to update something new as per our wish. And then you have delete, to delete records from the database. Example, retrieve data, select phone from employees where user ID is this. This statement retrieves the phone number of the employee who has the user ID of 96134. All right. So now what is it saying? Try to change the department of Toby Burnett to sales. Note that you have been granted full. Okay. So Toby Burnett. So I believe here is our Toby Burnett. And now we need to change the department of Toby Burnett to, right now he is in development. And it is asking me to change it to sales. Right. So first of all, what we are going to do is that we can see that the record is already stored, right? So we cannot just insert a new record, because now here we want to update it, right? So we are going to use the update function here. That is all clear to all, right? Because we want to update our existing records. Like it has mentioned, the update function is this only, right? One more thing that I am finding here must be the set function. It has not. Okay, it has not defined that. We can also use the set function to save the changes to our existing details, right? It has not introduced you that, but there is a set function that you can use before updating any record. For example, you can use for update employees, and then you can set the information, the new information, you can say, right? Then you can set the department to, I believe, from development to sales, right? To sales directly, just set it to sales, where, and then it must be the user ID. So this is the holistic approach, that how you create the IDs. So UID is integer. Why do we use single quote in quotation? I believe that's the way how you insert the data into the SQL. You always go ahead with single string, but without single string is also going to work. So that is not a big case in here. All right. So let's go ahead and update the record. So what I'm going to write here is update the employees. And then I told you that we are going to use the set function. And then we are going to set the department, right? So we are going to set the department. And now which department we need to set? Set department, update employees. Now we need to update only, we need to go ahead and update only one employee. But since the name of the table is defined to employees, like we have seen into the recent one, which is why we are using here employees. And then the set department, and then set department, and then you're gonna go for I don't care which department he is in right now, but what all I know is that I want to shift him to sales, where what is the call? It's user ID, right? So where user ID equals to, now we need to grab the user ID, where user ID, now we need to grab the user ID of Mr. Toby Burnett. So I'll go back, I'll just write this into a rough column right here, and I'll go back and I'll get the user ID of, okay, it must be 89762. Okay, it's written here already. Okay, so I believe this must be the right query. So let's just recheck it so that we don't get any error. So update is used to update its current position of the employee for which we have retrieved the table of employees. And we have used the set function in here, like delete, select, insert, and these update and all of these function like that you have set as well. That is also a DML command of SQL. And then the department where sales, where user ID is this. All right. So let's go ahead and try to submit this. Then I believe, yes, that's the right answer. So, okay. So I believe update employees, yes, user ID, and this is now updated. All right. So I'll just put this again into the notepad. Okay, I'm gonna directly write down solution number 3. Okay, I hope you are able to cope up with the explanation that I'm giving you of SQL. This is a very good detailed one. So I hope you must be enjoying it already. All right, so we have completed the challenges. Let me just save this. Okay, it is now saved. Now let's go ahead and move on to challenge number 4. So I believe the difficulty must be increased by our 9th challenge, I believe. But anyways, let's go ahead and try to see what it is actually. So it's DDL, data definition language of SQL, right? So data definition language includes commands for defining data structure. DDL commands are commonly used to define database schema, refer to, yes. The important part is in SQL databases includes objects such as tables, indexes, views, relationships, and triggers. Now, these are the main data definition functions that you can say. Here you can use a lot of different things. Like I could have used alter as well, but they are just introducing it right now. So I've used the set command. So now here you can go for DDL commands for creating, modifying, and dropping the structure of database, you can say, right? So now you can do a lot of things right here. You can just create a database. You can just create the objects as well. For example, you can just create a new table and you can create the views of it. You can alter the structure of current database. That means you can alter a lot of information. And if you wish to drop something from database, you can do that with the help of drop delete objects of the database. It has also given the example. These examples are really important in WebGoat. So they are like the hidden treasure. They have a lot of solutions right here. So right now it is us in this example. Let's try to read this, that what exactly it is doing in this example. Here in this example, it is creating a table of employees, right? It is creating a table of employees where it is giving user ID, exactly like that. On number 2, it is giving the user ID, first name, last name, department, salary, and that's what it will recall here. Like you can say department, salary, or 10, and these kind of things. And now this statement creates the employees example table given on page 2. All right, good enough. Now what do we need to do? Now try to modify the schema by adding the column phone. Varchar is definitely what we are going to write to the table employees, right? So it wants to add, but does it wants to replace anything? Try to modify the schema by adding the column phone to the table employees. So I guess it is asking me to alter the structure of database, which means I'll have to introduce a new thing that is going to be the phone instead of, not instead of some table or row. It will add a new information here, right? So in order to do this, I'm going to alter the database, which is a very clear fact that I can see into the examples right here. We are going to alter what? We are going to alter the table of employees, right? So just not employee, we are going to go with employees. Employees, add, and then we are going to write phone, which is definitely something that it has given us to add, and then we are simply going to call varchar, right? So we are going to write here as varchar, and it is also asking me to define 20. So yes, this is what I need to define. So I'm going to copy this. So now we have altered the table, the complete table that was given here, and then we are, adding, instead of on top of employees, we are also adding. That is, simple add command is there, add function is there that is used to add a phone with varchar 20, right? So let's go ahead and submit this. So this is also accepted. This challenge is also completed. So I'm going to put this inside notes. So this completes our challenge number 4. Today and tomorrow we will try to complete at least 20 challenges, 9 to 10 challenges today we are going to complete, and 9 to 10 challenges tomorrow we are going to complete, because then I'll be going again for a tour in Jaipur at JCRC University. But you don't need to worry about the curriculum. Mukesh is also completing it. So we are soon going to be, touching the roots of this curriculum, which is going to be a really good one. So this is the solution number 4. So we have completed the 4 challenges here. save them. Okay. So we have completed two modules. Like I think it is what it will actually do is that it will make us complete DML, DDL, and I believe last challenge must be of DCL as expected. All right. So this is also a simple one. This is a data control language. The data control language is used to implement access control logic in database, right? So what happens, you have different groups when you store the data. One is like public, private, and one is the master group, that is all the privileges. So this defines the different roles of the groups. So this is the actual meaning of DCL, data control language. So who is authenticated to take the control of that data, who is not authenticated to take the control of that data. This is what we are going to learn in this, right? So we are going to okay, let's just go ahead and check out the different functions that it has defined. So if an attacker successfully injects DCL type SQL, now you're understanding that just the union right table or union select all is just not the SQL that you can just hit. There are a lot of more SQL attacks that you can hit. Whatever I'm writing right now, all of these are included into the SQL only, and different things can happen this way. Okay, seems like a lot of people are raising their hands, so I'll take a quick 2 minutes questions and then we'll get back to challenge number 5, that is data control language. So can we use name? Sorry, it's first name. Can we use update in uppercase also? Yes. So increase font size. Okay. So two people have raised hands. Feel free to ask the questions. I believe it must be visible to all of you by now. I've increased the font size as you have requested. Prasanna, just don't write explain once again. Tell me, what do you want me to explain once again? Then I'll be happy to explain you that again, right? Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. So Prasanna, quickly response. Else, I'll move further. I'll move forward from here. Sir, fourth one. Okay. So Prasanna wants to take a quick refresher of fourth one. So let's revise the fourth one once again. So Prasanna, what happens here, that this is a data definition language. In data definition language, we can, use these. See, Prasanna, there are three kind of things that WebGoat is trying to teach us. First one is DML, then DDL, then DCL, right? So this is also a very important thing right here. DML is data manipulation language, where you use these functions that are select, insert, update, and delete, right? So these are the main functions by which you can manipulate your database, right? Into the fourth one, you have DDL commands, that is data definition language, where you can create, alter, and drop the database. As simple as that. So in this, the challenger has asked us to add a column, because there are a lot of columns right here. Okay, so you can see that there are a lot of columns right here. Now it doesn't has any kind of column that says number, right? People have been asking for numbers as well these days. So now here they want us to add a new column with number, right? So into the fourth one, what we have done, we have altered a table. With the help of alter, you can see it alters the structure of existing database, which means you can add something new as well. So we have altered what? The employees row, right? You can see here, right? So okay, so we have altered the whole name of this structure. This is a table, and the name of this whole structure, like the name of this table, is employees. This is what it has defined here, right? So it is asking me to alter the table of employees, and then simply we have added phone, and this varchar is defined here. So this, with the help of varchar, this is how you write the SQL language. And so we have added the phone here with simple add function. So you don't need to worry about these are the simple add functions, right? Like add is a function, and then the employees, this is the table name, and then the alter is already defined here. So this is how you're writing. So when you'll write one by one, even if you'll just read the notes one by one, in the first thing it has asked me to select the department of the employees where the user is this. Then it has asked me to update the information of employees. In the third one, it has asked me to alter the table of employees. So this is a step-by-step process that how you can manipulate the things into the real life. So I believe the fourth one is done. Okay. So now we are going to go ahead and move on to the fifth one, that is data control language. Into the data control language, you have only grant and revoke, right? What you can grant and revoke, you can grant the access privileges on database objects. So do you remember when you just log into WebGoat, then it says that you have all the privileges, which means you have the right to do what? Do you remember the Linux command that I told you? Read, write, and execute. These are the privileges that you need to remember till now. Read, write, and execute. So these are the privileges. These are the rights that you can grant or you can revoke. Grant means you can give these rights to the database objects. Here the database objects must be the users that you can give the access of the users to the database objects. For example, if I say the Prasanna that I'm just going to give you two rights here only. Just I'm going to grant you two permission only into the database, that you can only access the first name, the last name, and the salary. So which means I'm going to grant you the privileges, right? So you can grant the right of any table, any row, and any column to any user right here, right? So this is data control language. So here DCL commands are used to implement access control and database object. So now it is all clear that what are the different objects of database and how you can what is actually the privileges and what is the implementation of access control. This access control is the same thing as the privileges. Like you're just controlling the privileges. That's what you're trying to do right here, right? So now here you are going to revoke, withdraw user privileges that were previously given using grant, right? So this is the function by which you grant the privileges. Revoke is the function by which you can revoke the privileges. But now what it is trying to say, let's go ahead and read further. It is trying to grant the rights to the table. Now the table name is grant rights and the user is unauthorized underscore user, right? So okay, what we can do here, grant and then you can go with the table to unauthorized user. Okay, so what I believe right now is that I cannot see any user named as unauthorized user, right? If there is not any user existing like unauthorized user, it is not necessary that you use the functions that they have defined. This is not how I do it. I usually use my old knowledge as well. So this is the thing that I think that can solve this query for us. How about if I just alter the database and create a new user of unauthorized user and I grant all the privileges to it? Yes, this is how you decode it, right? You need to create a logic before you hit any attack. You need to create a logic. When you will just go ahead and try to read this hence, you'll be able to develop the logic like I have developed the logic right now. You just look at things carefully and just see what it is trying to say. Like it is asking me to grant the right, and it is also defined the grant underscore right, but that doesn't really matters. What matters here is the user, which is not even existing. That is unauthorized user. So I can alter the database. I can create a user and I can grant all the privileges to it. So I'm going to use grant. It's case sensitive. You'll have to write that in the all capitalized thing. And then I'm going to alter like I have planned. I'm going to alter the table. I'm going to alter the table to unauthorized user. I guess this is going to be the thing. I hope we are not missing out anything right here. Unauthorized user. Okay. Oh, this is the incorrect solution, or let's say unexpected token table required to your query was grant alter table to unauthorized user. Your query was this unauthorized user. Unauthorized user. I think there must be one more hint. Hmm. Let's see if there is any unauthorized user in here. There is no unauthorized user here. Hmm. What if I change the name? What if I change the user? Grant alter table to unauthorized user. Grant alter table to unauthorized user. Hmm. This is not working this way. Okay, so one of the student has raised the hand. We have got some chats as well in here. Let me just have a look at them quickly. Sir, UID. Okay. This is, we have read. Grant all. Grant all on grant rights to unauthorized user. Don't we need to add table name? You missed on. I missed on. Grant. Grant alter. Like I believe I don't need to write on here because I've written two in this case, and this is how he has done. Grant alter table check syntax on Google. This is working in my WebGoat. Okay, and now just give me your query if that is working on your WebGoat. I believe the syntax is right. Because he has also given the example like this only grant rights. For this, I have simply written grant alter uh, table to unauthorized user. Yes, this makes sense. If it could have been right, it must have worked. Okay, so let's try to read the query of this one. Grant all on grad underscore right. Um, yes, this could work. Okay. Yes, I have forgotten on before grant underscore rights. 2 is going to be there anyway. So yes, I believe, I think let's go ahead and try this. Yes, this has worked. So the mistake that I did is that I forgot to put on before grant underscore rights. So I accept the fact that I just forgot to put the on before grant rights according to the right syntax. So here we have done the same strategy here as well that I just made you understand few minutes back, that here we wanted to grant all on grant underscore rights to unauthorized user. It is going to be same like this only. So I hope you have understood the challenge number 5 as well. If there is someone who was not able to understand it, just feel free to go ahead and ask the queries into the question answer. And like we have planned, it's 4:20, which means we can have a little break. Before going on a break, I'm going to ask few doubts if you have, and then we'll proceed with rest of the 5 challenges. So grant privileges, yes, that's the very right way of understanding that Mr. Yovo have written here. Would like to explain it to all the students right here. So here he has broken it down into a very good format that is readable and understandable to everyone. So here he has written grant function to the privilege name on object name to username, which makes this query, right? So I'll put this beautiful piece of explanation into the notes as well so that it could be understood by everyone. So this was our solution number 5. So this is how you use some basic SQL commands. Then you have a module to read in 6, 7, 8, and then you have a lot of things to solve. But today we are going to solve all of them any which way, because I've been meeting you after a long time and I was just waiting to teach you people a lot of good things right here today. So if you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Sir, who is unauthorized user? Unauthorized user is a new user that he has asked us to give the privilege to. That was not the existing user, Prasanna. Fifth one, queries looks like very easy. Yes, the queries are easy as of now, but into the upcoming challenges, it is going to be the hard one. Okay. So Pratik is asking to take the explanation of fifth one again. So I'll give you the explanation of fifth one again. So what it is trying us to do, that it is asking us to try to grant the rights to the table. Now this is the table name and this is the username. We want to grant all the rights to it, right? So in order to do that, we simply need to grant all the rights. For that, which we are going to write grant all, and where we need to give the rights, we need to give the rights on table. The name of the table should be defined here, right? Of the name of the table is given. Inside the table there must be an object that we need to call right here, right? So that object is grant underscore rights here, right? That is here. Now, inside that object that is defined grant underscore rights, you need to give the rights to whom? Here, you just simply need to give the unauthorized underscore user, which is defined as a username temporarily in this hence. So this is what we have done. We have granted all kind of privileges on, because you cannot directly go ahead. You cannot simply write grant all to unauthorized user. You cannot write that, because it's again going to be like, hey, bring me the book from library. But which book do you want? From where do you want that book? That needs to be defined, right? So here we need to define the complete address, that is grant underscore rights, which is the object defined inside the table, right? Which is what we are calling here. So we are granting all the privileges on the object name to the unauthorized user. So this is the challenge number 5. All right. So we are, do you guys want a break or not? Just give me a quick response. If you guys don't want a break, we can just proceed further from here. Or if you want a break of 4-5 minutes, I can just give you that. Okay. Anav says break. One says I'm enjoying. One says got it. Need break. Okay, we have got 2-3 recommendations for break. Though it was not a very big brainstorming, but any which way, I'm going to grant you a break for like it's 4:23. You can take the break till 4:30, and then we'll be back here again. All right. So I'll be back again after 7 minutes from now. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is presented over here. And I believe our break is completed now. So, can we see solution number 3? Solution number 3 was right here when I was on the break, Anant. Like it was right here. All right. So, let's proceed with upcoming solutions of upcoming challenges. What is SQL injection? We have already learned that SQL injection attack consists of insertion and injection of malicious code via SQL query input from the client to application, which we have been like doing from quite a long time. The example of SQL injection is like, now you must be feeling very good because we have already completed these kind of challenges earlier into like DVWA. So here you can see that you have select from users where name equals to this. We have already completed this. And now we have select from user where Smith is this. Select from user. You can put our username in here. So this is a simple example of what SQL is. Now you have consequences of SQL injection. A successful SQL injection exploit can read and modify sensitive data. It feels like we have been doing this into the challenge number 2, 3, 4, 5 as well, but I have no idea why they are trying to make us understand this once again. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's just walk through it very quickly here. Okay, so now you can just read and modify the sensitive data. We can execute the administrative operations like shutdown auditing the DBMS, that is database management system, truncate tables and logs, and we can add users like we have done into our last challenge, right? And then SQL injection attack allows attackers to spoof the identity, you can say, right? And you can go ahead and tamper with existing data as well. You can cause reputation issues such as voiding transaction or changing balances. We are already doing this. Allow the complete disclosure, destroy the data, or become the administrator. Like we have done this already. Let's go and see what he is trying to introduce us into the module number 8. Severity of SQL injection attacks is limited by attacker skill and imagination. Like, yes, you gotta have to imagine, like I told you, that how you can imagine and build the queries like we did few minutes back. So yes, logical thinking is really very crucial here. Not all the database supports command chaining. MySQL connector J, Oracle, and Microsoft Access. Like nobody is using these kind of technologies these days. People have been using MySQL connector JNC and Oracle as well, but any which way, Microsoft Access is not much used these days. SQL injection is more common in PHP, classic ASP. Yes, you might be thinking that ASP is outdated, but that is not the fact. People have been using ASP quite a lot. Recently, LinkedIn has acquired, like the LinkedIn Learning was completely on ASP.NET. Cold Fusion and other languages as well. Languages that do not provide parameterized query support and query have been added to new versions. Yes, into the new versions also, they have just violated the, some of the violation queries like, user or something like union all, select, these kind of things they have violated from the URL as well. But any which way, people are still intercepting the request with the help of Burp Suite as well, and they are just inserting them anywhere onto the web page. Not all database are equal, like the SQL Server, command shell, and registry commands. Right, this is also a very simple. Okay, now this is the challenge that you can go ahead and see. So select. Okay, I believe I'll take you to this page again. Select from users. It's like I'm repeating the union based SQL injection once again. Select from user where name equals to this thing. This was our last query of SQL injection union based. So I think this is something like that. So now the query in the code build a dynamic query as seen in the previous example. The query is built by concatenating strings. Now, if you have been observing my lectures very carefully, then you must know that what concatenation is. We have done this under the SQL lab that I have designed for you people. We have I taught you what exactly the concatenation is into that lecture, making it susceptible to string SQL injection. So select from, this is like a revise thing that he is giving us, that select from user underscore data where first name is John and last name is last name, whatever the last name he has defined into this function, that is last name. Try using the form below to retrieve all the users from the users table. You should not, you need not to know any specific username time to get the complete list. So select from user data where first name is John and the last name is, so last name is Smith, or 1 equals to 1. So, what do you think we will be using here? Any responses? I believe this is coming up into the logic. As far I'm able to understand the logic beside this is coming up from the logic that I've made you understand while solving our SQL lab, that your LHS should be equals to RHS and the all over query should be true. So I believe here something that is true here is 1 equals to 1 is true. 1 equals to 2 is not true. Again, 1 equals to 2 is not true. Again, 1 with a single string missing is not true as well, because they are different, treated differently. 1 equals to 2 is again not equals, and last underscore name equals to Smith. So that is already defined here. So I believe we will have to go ahead with the true authentication. What happens that whenever the SQL server sees that the authentication is true, then it will give you the authentication. So this was one of the thing that was breaking out a lot of passwords earlier. So 1 equals to 1 will be the right answer. We use this into the cases of password as well. So we are going to click on get info, and then we are receiving the problem, Smith, or I believe this should be the thing. Is it going to be here like this? Yes, this makes a little bit of logic to me. Last name, this is the missing one in here. Smith is not going to be there. Okay, so there is some changing in here. So I believe the last name, what it wants us to do is that you cannot write the last name, else the query will be violated. What it is trying us to make understand is that the right hand side should be true, and we'll have to select the right hand side manually. Earlier I thought that the Smith will be there and it will make no hindrance, but yes, it is making the hindrance. Now the question is that how do you know what is the last name? It has never defined that what exactly the last name is. As far I can see the hints and everything right here, it has never defined that the last name of John is Smith, right? Though it has given the option to confuse us, but it has never defined that Smith is the last name. So what I'm going to do that I'm just going to focus on the true query. So I've decided to go for single quote because that's where the Smith is not there. So this is going to be there, or, and this is the query. You know, if I'll just put the single quote and 1 equals to 1, then it will be violated. 1 equals to 2 is already a false query. All of these are false query, but the single code that is missing is from this option. So I'm going to go ahead and select for this option. Then I'm going to click on get account info. Then it says that you are succeeded. So we have successfully, you know, taken out all the user ID, first name, last name, CC number, CC type, cookie, and login count. So this is what we needed to do. So this was more of like a MCQ based challenge where we have to, collect the right answer with the right choice. Though now it is showing us the Smith or 1 equals to 1, but this is not how it is going to work in this case. So I repeat my choices. My choices was this single quote, and the second choice was this one, where the single quote is missing from the true query. So this makes us to complete our challenge number 9. So I'll just quickly put the right queries into the notes so that later on you can just find out. Okay, so solution 5, solution 9 is where we need to go. Solution number 9. So in Solu 9, we need to focus on making the query as true, knowing the fact that Smith isn't mentioned as the last name of John, I believe. John, yeah, John, yes. Last name of Jon Snow. Yeah, I would have gone through the option of Snow instead of Smith anyway. The last name of John. So we will go for auth cheat sheet that I'm going to introduce you in some time from now. Cheat sheet with the choice of single quote, and then it was single quote and one was missing in the end. So first option that you'll choose is and second option will be it was 1 or 1. This is what was the second option. Yes, that's the second option. Okay, it will make much more sense because there are a lot of more things that you can do while going ahead with the authentication. For example, you can go for zero single quote thing as well. That is anyway going to make the query true, but usually we don't use zero much because it will null down the query. So for this, you will look for SQL authentication bypass cheat sheet. So you will see a lot of cheat sheets. So these are the combinations of true queries that you can see, or one, and all of these. So I'm copying this. These are the different combination whose output is true anyway, but some of them makes less logic. But any which way, if you know the password, you can directly go ahead and reach into the password as well, like this basically. So I'm copying all of this, and let me just paste it down to the cheat sheet. So SQL authentication cheat sheet is this, right? All right, so this will save a lot of more of your challenges in here. Let's go ahead and reach more of these challenges. Challenges number 9 is completed. We have 4 more challenges remaining for today, right? So like I mentioned you a few minutes back, that you can also go for the zero thing. So let's go ahead and try for that in here. So let's make the login count to 0 in here, but let's see, try it numeric SQL injection. Right now we have the whole cheat sheet, like where it is. Here it is. So we have the whole cheat sheet in here. So I believe we can do a lot of big things here. See, this is the same cheat sheet, I believe. Exact same cheat sheet somebody has taken out and posted on GitHub. That's sad. This is also the same cheat sheet somewhere. This is also the same cheat sheet anyway. Fine, all of them are same, just a little bit of changes, but they are outdated changes, so they won't work. So let's see, try it. Numeric SQL injection. The query in the code builds a dynamic query as seen in the previous example. The query in the code builds a dynamic query by concatenating a number, making it susceptible to numeric SQL injection. So select from user data where login count, and here we need to define the login count here and the user ID to this. Now, what happens is that this must be the code that must be written by the developer. For example, you go ahead and put the roll numbers for extracting your exam. So this is exactly like that. For example, if I must have a roll number or something like that, Neha has raised the hand like multiple times. So if you have any doubt, feel free to ask them into the question answer section, right? So this must be the query that must be written by the developers. For example, if select from user data where your roll number could be, and then showing up the result as end user ID, something like that. So this is what we are going to do, and this is the backend that he has shown us. Now you won't find such challenges into the real life because this is to make our things easier. This is why WebGoat has done this. So how about if I put the login count to 0 and the user ID, let's make user ID and login count, what do you say? User ID and login count to 0. And then let's make a query to make it look like it's true again. So in order to make it look like it's true again, the easiest query is 1 equals to 1, right? So what I'm going to write here is 1 equals to 1, the easiest one. And I'll click on get account info. So yes, we have succeeded here as well. So I believe this challenge was super simple again. Okay, so a few questions. Ninth query is not ending. So how it is working? Which ninth query is not ending? Okay. Solution 9 is right here. Solution 10. Is it the 10th lab? Yes. So put the login count to 0 and user underscore ID to 0 as well, or we'll just give a true case that is 1 equals to 1, the simple one. I believe they should really increase the difficulty level, but any which way, this is how they are going with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and save the notes for you people. So I believe we have completed the 10 challenge as well. Okay, this looks like the hard one. Compromising confidentiality with string SQL injection. What is string SQL injection? If an application builds SQL queries simply by concatenating user-supplied strings to the query, the application is likely very susceptible to the string. Okay, so the thing is, the concatenation has to be done very carefully. You do the concatenation by group underscore concat, and then you define the function of concatenation, right? So if you still remember, I'll just give you a quick hint. So if you still remember, I'm just going to remove it from the notes, but just to give you a basic idea, we have done group underscore concat into, like we were writing this query when we were solving MySQL challenge lab. So we were writing here as group concat, and then we were defining the function. Like we were defining the username or like whatever that is. But group concat refers to displaying or fetching all the information all together. This is the main meaning of concatenation. Like suppose we were getting the query of only one user at that case, But in this case, what we can do is that we can get the information of all the usernames, not just the one or the first, or the order was one that was only getting fetched. So we want to get the all the information. That is why we use group concatenation. If we talk about it from the development perspective, then sometimes developers also group concat a lot of results that a user needs to be displayed, which is why he used the concatenation function. Now, what it is saying here in string based SQL injection, that if you are using any kind of concatenation, then you should be very careful, because it will raise the high amount of chances that your web app will be vulnerable by string SQL injection, because you use a lot of strings while concatenating something, right? Okay, so now it defines that it is your turn. You are an employee named John Smith. Okay, any which way, the name of the John was Smith, working for a big company. The company has an internal system that allows all employees to see their own internal data, such as department they work in their salary. So the system requires the employees to use unique authentication 10 to view their data. Your current 10 is 3S99A, right? Uh, your current 10 is this. Now, since you always have the urge to be the most highly paid employee, that's a fact for sure. You want to exploit the system. No, I would never want to do that, but any which way. So that instead of viewing your own internal data, you want to take a look at the data of all your colleagues, right? So if I want to see the data of all the colleagues, then what is the query that I can do? So use the form below and try to, retrieve all the employee data from the employees table. You should not need to know any specific names or tens to get the information you need. You already found out that the query performing your request looks like this. Okay, so let me just, okay. So now select from employees where last name is this, and the authentication is this, and the authentication 10 is this. All right. So what I can do is that I can employ as Smith. If I am employee as a Smith, but I cannot see the data of anyone else with the name John Smith. And that is not even my employee. Okay, employee name is this only, but it says that you should not need to know anyone, any specific names or tens. Right, so let's put a random name in here. And let's go with the authentication part in here. So into the authentication part, I would like to go with the query that was used earlier. I guess we have used one query. This one. This, or this. Right. So we can make one more out of this. Okay. This makes much more sense to me, this query. Now, this is a cheat sheet which will be very useful to you, because it is going to show us a lot of different things, because here the authentication is done between two, like a user, and these two variables are there. For example, in this case as well, you can write the admin, or you can even remove the admin from here. But what matters is the single quote, or single quote 1 single quote equals to single quote 1, right? This is one of the combination that we have taken out over a cheat sheet right here, right? So let's go ahead and try that. So what I'm going to do here is the exact same query. So this one, Like I'm not writing the admin here because I have already defined the name a random one to A, and I'm giving a single quote in here. An exact same query that made sense into the two parameters, that was my employee name and the 10. So likewise, we have like this into the cheat sheet as well. Instead of employee name, you have the username in here, right? And rest of the query will be same. Whatever I'm writing here, it is going to be same. I'm going to use single quote. You can see that this single quote is what I've used in here. And then you have or as well is what I've used here. And then single quote one single quote equals to single quote one. So this is what we need to write here into the combination of two things right here. That is like your employee name and 10. It could be like username or and your password as well. So you can go ahead with the whatever is the right choice. So I'm going to go with single quote equals to single quote one. So let me copy this. Right. So yes, we have succeeded. You have succeeded. You have successfully compromised the confidentiality. So I can see, like as a super admin, I have breached in. I'm not logged in as John as well. I'm not logged in as anything, but with the help of this cheat sheet. See, this is why I have introduced you this cheat sheet. This is something that works when there are like multiple inputs is required and you need some extra information as an admin. For example, you can try all of these things into the parameters where the input is required, and one of them will work if you will work logically with these things as well. So this is called as SQL authentication cheat sheet. So this is also cleared up. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So now we have two more challenges available in here. Okay, so let me just look at the questions. Seems like I don't have any question in here. Okay. So now we have two more challenges for today. In this, we are looking to compromise the integrity with query chaining. Okay, let's see what the query chaining is. So after compromising the confidentiality of data in the previous lesson, and this time we are going to compromise the integrity of data by using SQL query chaining. If a severe enough vulnerability exists, SQL injection may be used to compromise the integrity of any data in database. Successful SQL injection may allow an attacker to change information that he should not be even. Okay, what is query chaining? Query chaining is exactly what it sounds like. With query chaining, you try to append one or more queries. We have append one or more queries into our last challenge as well. So end of the day, you can do this by, okay. So this is going to be the mark for append in here, right? This is what we gotta have to use. So like we can give any employee name here, and with the authentication, let's see what it is asking us for the authentication part in here. So mark the end of a SQL statement. It allows one to start another query right after the initial query with the need of even a start line, right? It's your turn. You just found that Toby and Bob both seem to earn more money than you. Oh, that's a factor of getting jealous. And then, of course, you cannot leave it at that. Better go and change your own salary. So you are earning the most. Remember, your name is John Smith, and your current 10 is 3SL 99A, right? So let's go ahead and see what best we can do in here. Let me zoom it in. Okay. So the last name could be anything. It could be any random name. But now the hustle starts, because now we'll have to write a big query. So we'll have to make a query for 10. So I guess we need to update our salary, for which we'll be using our update command, but we need to append it, right? So in order to append it, I'm going to go with single quote in this, and then I'm going to update it, right? And then now I remember it's the employees that we need to update. So employees, and then we need to set. Now we need to set our like the new salary, right? So new salary, like we just simply need to write salary in here in this case. So set salary, employees, set salary. Let my new salary be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so and then uh, okay, I just need to name. I just need to change the salary of John Smith, right? So I'll have to define the name of John Smith as well. So where my first underscore name, like this was the table name that we have observed into the starting first name. So my first name is, I believe it's John, right? I believe it's John. Let me go ahead and preview it into my notepad. I guess we have not written anything for solution 11. So we have used the append, the single quote and the append that it has suggested. And then we have updated, update employees, set, I believe the salary must be the right function or thing to do here, where first underscore name equals to John. Seems like a good query to me. Nothing wrong, I believe. Let's go ahead and sorry the solution. Malformed string John. Malformed. I guess I'm writing this into the single string only. It is not malformed. Okay, so there was a little problem in here. So it suggested me to malformed it, but I never did that. So I simply just removed the last single quote accidentally, and like it has taken that as well. So I believe we have defined this thing into the starting, which is why it has malformed it. It has got, it must be treated somewhere in here, or it must be getting inserted somewhere in here, which is why to make it equal, I removed this single quote in here from the query. And this was my query, that like this is a very simple query. We never had to do much in here. We just wanted us to receive the largest amount of salary. So I've just simply updated the employees set salary, and I just inserted a random 9999 where first name was John. So this was a true query. And into the first name, like I simply wrote B in here, employee name. So I'll just simply write that in here. I'll put it in the middle. Okay. Employee name, write B, and second column was of authentication 10. In authentication 10, so see, you'll be getting a lot of inputs inside a website, and if that web page is using SQL, then I believe you can do a lot of things now after learning these chapters. You can just update the information inside the website or the user, or maybe if you are running around with a system that is that your company is using, you can do a lot of things over there as well. So in authentication, I simply appended it as per it was suggested: update employees, set salary, where first name is John. So this is how my salary got updated. Well done. Now you are earning the most money, and at the same time, you successfully compromise the integrity of data by changing the salary. Okay. So this is right here. We can also change the department as well. We can change the last name as well. So we can change whatever we wish to. So now this was our 12th challenge that we have just now completed. Finally, we are going to go into the last one. The last challenge in compromising the availability. So give me a second. Okay, let's see what it is asking us to do into this last lesson. So after successfully compromising confidentiality and integrity, in the previous lesson, we are now going to compromise the third element of the CIA triad, that is availability. There are many different ways to violate availability. If an account is deleted or its password gets changed, the actual owner cannot access this account anymore. That's pretty much true. Attackers could also try to delete the parts of database, like I just now mentioned few seconds back, or even drop the whole database, like I just mentioned few seconds back. In order to make the data inaccessible, revoking the access rights of admins or the other user is yet another way to compromise availability. Yes. The owner will be a user as well, but he won't stay admin anymore. You can just revoke them. This would prevent these users from accessing either specific part of the database or even the entire database, right? That can be done. Right. So now you are the top earner in your company, but do you see that there seems to be an access log table where all your actions have been logged to? Like this is what I told you into the starting. If you're making any changes anywhere, whether it is system or it is web app or it is like anything out there, you are creating logs, right? So there seems to be access log table where all your actions have been logged. Better go and delete it completely before anyone else notice, right? So the name of, okay, you can just call the access log with the help of access underscore log. So for this, I can just drop this table. I believe this is a table that we need to drop, right? And in order to drop the table, you just simply need to write drop table access underscore log. And then let's comment it. So I think this must be the query for dropping the access log. I mean, this is what I really wish to use. I have no idea why my cursor is coming up right here. There's still evidence of what you did. Better remove the whole table. Let's try the append again. Let me copy this. Yes, by using the append, we have successfully done it. So I believe this was very easy. Solution 12. So I've dropped the table access log, but it wasn't working. Then I used the append and then it started working. Right. So you can see the green. We have solved around 9 challenges today. So I hope you must have enjoyed today's class. I'm dropping down the notes for this SQL into the groups and along with the recording of this session. And I believe we'll be keeping today's session till here only because we have been learning quite a lot today. But okay, so um, Arnav has again, been telling us that he has also figured out that how to set the salary. Okay, we have a question from Neha. How did you identify the specific from the cheat sheet, right? So into the cheat sheet, I had this choice as well. That is 1 = 1, 1. These choices were there as well, but they were not the choices of single parameter. Like there was the option for username and the password, right? So when you have two options for that, so you can go for the single parameter option as well, then you can go for the multiple option as well. Now I believe these are barely the comments, right? This hyphen was barely a comment, and then again this was just a pound sign, and this was also comment, right? So I thought, why to go for these things, because any which way they are not going to make my query true. And then this was the first choice that I made, and it has two queries, two parameters, because in that challenge as well there were two parameters. It was username as well, and it was the password as well, which is why I started choosing this one. Like this was the first choice that I've chosen. Otherwise I would have chosen the second one. There is a very slight logic beside it. Like firstly, I've given the admin as a parameter, or in some cases you don't give any parameter. Like if you have noticed, I have done this. Only single quote is what I have applied over there. And then I've written simply this, or single quote, one single quote equals this only. If this doesn't works, then it could work with the comment thing, like the exact thing we do with the union based. Like if our query is not working, then we put the comments in the end. So this is the same trick. So likewise, these are the different combinations that logically you have to apply. So I usually start going from the top to bottom. So this is how I have done the choice in here. I think solution number 11 not writes in the note. Yeah, solution number 11 is also right here. In employee name, you have to write B, and in authentication 10, you'll have to write update employee set, this one. And solution number 12 is simply this. Okay, seems like I'm not getting any more questions, which means that's it for today's class. If you have more questions, feel free to ask. I'm waiting for a few seconds more. Else, that's it for today. Okay, so seems like I'm not getting any more questions. Okay, 12 is 13. 12 is 13. Yes, that's right. 11 is 12. Okay. So let's go ahead and see our 11th. Right. So this is where you'll have to get all of these departments in here. This was in solution 9, second option. Okay, I'll just write a hint in here into 9, 10, and 11. Solution 11, watch picture or take hint from this. We already know that we just need to remove admin from here, and into the first, you can see the first employee name, you can just write A, and then you can just remove admin, and this is the query that you have to write into the second one, right? But just to keep our notes a little bit of tricky, I have done this. Watch the lecture or take hint from admin. All right, YouTube live, maybe I'll try to come YouTube live, maybe today or tomorrow. In solution 11, can we write any? You can write. Can you quickly show the use of Foxy proxy? Okay, let's take a quick session of proxy tomorrow in detail, because proxy is a very good and very detailed thing. If you don't know how to use proxy, then it could be a very big trouble if you're working in any information security company. So I would love to take a detailed lecture on Foxy proxy or just proxy as well. We should use only single letter in 11th. 11th, yes. You can only use single letter. Okay, seems like we are done with all the doubts. And I'll take care to give you a very good introduction about Foxy Proxy as well. Though I used to use Foxy Proxy in my college days to get the unauthorized user access of the internet speed into my college days. So that's how I used to use the Foxy Proxy. It's one of the finest one. Then I started using Anchor. Anchor Proxy is one of my favorite one. So this is I've been using right now. And in India, you cannot use proxies anymore as per the laws. So this is again a trouble for us to show these kind of demonstration. But any which ways, I hope you have enjoyed explain about DevOps course. If you want to hear more about DevOps course, do attend my live lectures and check out the live from Hitesh sir. I might come live on YouTube today or tomorrow, so you can just ask these kind of questions over there. But that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. I'll meet you tomorrow again with more informative challenges. We'll be solving a lot of more challenges tomorrow. But that's it for today. I hope you have liked it, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend ahead.